Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm here with Mr. Fabuloso, Mark Porter. And so, Mark, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Mark Porter. I'm a local financial planner in the Bay Area. We work in 23 states. Long before COVID ever happened, we were working virtually. So we can help people in a lot of ways in a lot of areas.
Awesome. And I'm Fatima Nikchi. I'm a real estate broker. I've been in real estate over 20 years. I cover all of California. Um, but the reason why I love partnering up with Mark is because I deal with folks with their finances on a different level. Like I'm once they have some money, they talk to me and they say, "Okay, I have some money to play with. What can I do with it?" And that's where the real estate part comes in. But sometimes it takes some time to get that money, and when it and that takes some planning. So we're today's topic is the power of compound interest, and we're here to talk about how some small investments per month could reach out to a certain amount in, let's say, 10, 15, 30 years. So we're going to give you some numbers, something for you to think about, whether this speaks to you, someone you know, someone you think could utilize, a starting of a savings plan, even for your own children. Like if you have a baby or a kid that you just like want them to have something by the time they turn 18, um, this video is for you. So Mark, so let's talk about it. Let's get into it. So say someone has $250 per month, right? They have a little extra money. They can do 250 per month, and they invest it for 30 years. They're working on their retirement, but that's what right now they're starting at 250 because maybe they're just new. What does that look like in 30 years?
Yeah, that's that's really a pretty doable number for a lot of people, $250 a month. The
Mhm.
most important thing really is to continue doing that every single month, no matter what gets in your way, if you can. If they're going to stick that into a savings account and earn 1%, they're going to end up with $104,000. That's really not very interesting. But if you compare that to them putting it into real estate or the stock market and getting a 12% rate of return, which is somewhat lower than many years are, but let's just say because of math, we've got to do an average. 12%, you're looking at $873,000. If they put that money in a location without tax, they get to keep it all. Amazing.
That's a lot of money. So that tells you could start at $250 per month. I don't know. I'm 41, right? I'm going to be 41 this year. So let's say I didn't start anywhere, and I'm just I don't have much money to give, but I'm like, but I have $250. Well, by the time like I'll be 71 in 30 years, and so if that's the time I want to retire or just kind of work toward that, I can do that now, and I'll have it. If you're younger, and you start at $250 per month, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna live your life, do your thing, but you'll have some money growing in the background. So always take care of yourself, have some options. Okay, so I love these numbers. So let's talk about 350 per month. So if someone has $350 per month in 30 years, what does that look like?
That's really exciting. At 12%, which I think is not a large rate of return to expect, you're looking at 1.2 million.
That's good money, guys. That's good money. That's a lot more than what people have. Um, okay, let's just talk, let's say someone has 15 years. Someone has 15 years and they want to start with $250 per month. Um, what does that look like in 15 years?
Yeah, 15 years is a short time frame depending on what the goal is. Some people have a goal that's 15 years out. If you can put 250 bucks a month towards that and get 12%, you're at $124,000.
Okay. I mean, so if you have 250 per month and maybe you just have a hard time saving money, but you want to go, you know what? I'm going to dedicate myself and I'm going to scrape up whatever I have and I'm going to put that into an account. I'm not going to touch it. You're going to have some money. You're going to have some money aside, and that's going to have you to have something to fall back on. We all need that. We all need a plan. We need some money. Okay, let's talk about 350 a month. So if someone has 350 a month in 15 years, what does that look like?
Yeah, for a 12% rate of return, they're going to end up with 174,000.
Okay, see, so who couldn't use that? I mean, 350, 250 a month, 350 a month. People are paying car notes on those. People are having that spending on drinks and dinner. So, I mean, if we just kind of alter, some people use that to shop on a regular basis and just buy lots of knickknacks that come out to about that much per month. So if you are one of those people and you're like, gosh, I really could use you could put my money to work. Let's do something. Like, talk to Mark, talk to your financial planner, talk to anybody you trust. Start somewhere, because when you have money, then you talk to someone like me. Then you're like, look, I'm ready to grow my money in a different way, right? Real estate is also another way people gain wealth. So, but in order, if you don't have like a huge amount to start off with, then you say, okay, this is where you start. So, Mark, let's just say someone wants to do their own plan. They start with a 250 a month or 350 a month plan, but let's say they have a kid, like they have a baby or a little youngin, and they just have a little extra money to put aside. So, if they put $50 a month for them, um, what does that look like when they become 18 years old?
Yeah, there's a lot of places to put that money, but if we look at $50 a month when the child is born, getting a fairly good rate of return of 12%, that's $37,000. That's normally going to cover about 1 year of college, which is great. So if you can put away $50 and you get each set of grandparents to put away $50, and then you can, really take a look at having that college covered. And college isn't the number one goal, and not every kid will go to college, but there's a really amazing California State 529 college plan available that will give you zero tax on your rate of return for college needs. And maybe you want to have money that would be good for the kid to purchase a car or their first house. There's a Uniform Transfer to Minors Act account that you can use to gift money to the kid each year. And then that money can grow with the stock market as well. There's a lot of ways to get that money in the right place and potentially get it off of your tax return.
So that is just super exciting. I mean, I love these numbers. And so, if this video sparked any type of like interest, as far as like, wow, like you could start with 250 a month, 350 a month.
Right.
If you could come up with more, if you say, hey, I got an extra $500 a month, if whatever that number is, and it's just extra money, let that money work for you. But if you want to also have something for your kid, well, as you're just having a little extra $50 a month, if you just have that, you can add more if you want to, but it's something. So we want you to get in a good financial place where you have breathing room. A lot of people are, paycheck to paycheck. They don't have extra money, and sometimes just tweak it a little bit to just make that plan, and you'll be in a better place. So talk to Mark or I if you have any questions. Um, but yeah, no, I think this is great. So hopefully you reach out. Do you have anything else you want to add on, Mark, before we wrap it up?
So many people are overwhelmed, embarrassed, or have an ego that gets in the way. Really reaching out to people that have done well themselves, but also want to give someone else a leg up. If it weren't for my grandparents' financial planner, I don't think I would have ever done much for myself. And I actually started with $5 a week on Fridays into the credit union savings account. That was how the financial planner taught me that you've got to put this money away consistently on a regular basis. And then when there was enough, he said, you've got to start putting this money in something that grows faster than inflation. So we've got to move this money into something like that. And then eventually he said, hey, you're going to be set up to pay too much tax in retirement. We've got to start putting money in locations that are tax-free. And I'm game to talk to somebody about where they are right now, have them develop a game plan based on their priorities. I don't have any. based on their priorities. And they might be able to have their own roadmap. It's kind of like going to AAA and getting a map and driving your car. You don't need an airplane to go to Tahoe. I mean, it's close enough. You can drive with a map, right?
Yeah.
You don't need to hire some big fancy financial advisor or some lawyer or what have you. A lot of people can prioritize their goals, a little bit of help. They can do quite a bit on their own until it gets a little complicated, then they might actually need to pay someone. But similar to real estate, you know, people can go out and look for real estate, but when it comes to negotiating a contract, the seller is usually not even going to want to deal with somebody who doesn't have a realtor. The seller was smart enough to hire a realtor. The buyer doesn't have one. Well, so sorry about that.
Yeah, though there's a lot to it. I mean, and that's where, you know, when you have somebody that's been in the business long enough, they can give you guidance and strategies and look at the bigger picture. And that comes with experience. So thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions or if you have any topics that you would like, please let us know, send us a message. But appreciate your time.